Hear me, Odin, all-father of the gods. Summon the shadows of ages past, when the thread-spinning Norns ruled the fates of men. Hear of a princess' vengeance quenched at the fiery gates of hell. A prince destined for Valhalla. Hear me.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Joffrey Noodle Legs here today with another Noodle film review. Today we're looking at something a little bit different. A film from one of my favourite upcoming sort of modern directors, you know, because not everything I like is 80s based. There are some directors that I love, and this one is from the director of my favourite sort of modern horror film, The Witch. And this is the Nordic film, The Northman. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this one today. This is the 4K release of the version, which contains the 4K film and the Blu-ray. So first of all, I'll give you a little synopsis of the film. The film kind of starts off with, you see some longboats heading towards the sort of part or the island or the kingdom where this is all based.
He's here.
So you can see the young lad there, very happy, saying he's come home, and that's his father, who is in fact the king.
The king, my lady, the king. Come. Odin brought him home.
You may recognise the young lad. He's from the film The Witch. In fact, I think all of the cast, well, pretty much most of the cast, apart from the two sort of really young children, are in this film. Obviously, the director has a lot of faith in those actors and actresses, and they all appear in this. And I love that because it gives it that sort of a bit of a witch feel to it, which I love. So it's really cool. Anyway, so the king has returned.
Like a battle dog returning to its master, I've come to be fettered by my queen's fair locks.
Ever are we bound, my lord.
So he's returned. He's obviously come from an area where they've obviously conquered, because he's come back with sort of like gold and slaves and stuff like that. So they have like a sort of welcoming home sort of ceremony.
You'll soon be with us.
around the prince's neck when I found it, but it was destined for this prince. Wear it always with my love.
Thank you, Father.
So as the ceremony's taking place, he gives his son like this gold necklace thing that he got on his travels, and the king's brother turns up at the ceremony.
Accept my cup, kinsman.
Lady.
Look how the queen's cup grows wet for more men than her king. What metal might buy a fragrant sip? Sweet silver or hard iron?
Silence, dog! By Freya, you slander your lord and mistress. Release you, brother. 'Tis but a jest. A jest. Emir keeps a foul tongue, yet I keep him as a deep-sworn friend. Come, brother. Here's one more in need of your safekeeping than myself.
Then we sort of like in the, probably after the ceremony, where we got the king and his queen in their chamber area, and there's sort of jibber jabber going on, and they're talking about, the king's talking about that he wants his son to sort of like become the king now, because, like, you know, while he's at a young age and stuff like that.
The enemy has a taste of my liver.
Are you hurt?
Almost enough for Emma's to be marked my successor. I watched his innocence tonight. He must be awoken to what awaits him.
He is a puppy.
He's the same age as my grandfather when he took the throne.
That was different. He had to kill his uncle first.
Anyway, the king's made up his mind. That's what he wants to do, and he takes him to this like weird sort of place within that town, which is sort of underground, and underneath there, they've got a witch, and this witch sort of starts performing a kind of ceremony.
You dogs, drink the vision mead of knowledge, to learn what it is to live and die in honor, to be in battle slain and in death rewarded by the Valkyrie's embrace. The warrior maidens will carry you to the shimmering gates of Valhalla. You are dogs that wish to become men. Prove you are not a dog.
And a part of this ceremony, the son sort of like makes an oath and that to his dad, sort of like saying that he will avenge, if his dad is to die by the sword or anything like that, he will avenge his death.
You should spy around, for a foe might be crouched within upon the floor. Wise in measure should each man be, yet wise enough to be the fool.
Wise enough to be the fool.
Tell me, how did Northman lose his eye?
To learn the secret magic of women.
Never seek the secrets of women, but heed them always.
It is women that know the mysteries of men, the Norths.
That spin and weave, and that when their fate live in honor. Safeguard your familial blood.
Safeguard your familial blood.
It then cuts to the next day, and the son and the king. The king is played by Ethan Hawke's. The queen is played by Nicole Kidman. Anyway, so we cut to the next day, and they're both leaving that sort of witch's hut sort of area, and the king, Ethan Hawke's, gets shot by arrows. So he's been shot by these troops. Now, we don't know why yet. And then the leader of the troops comes and talks to him. So this leader of this group that have just sort of like ambushed the king is his brother.
Strike! Strike! To Valhalla!
So our young lad sees all this and runs and watches it and sees it and runs away. And then the troops start pursuing the lad.
Make it slow.
So the young lad then goes back to the village, sort of escaping, and sort of like gets himself a small sort of like out of the village. And the guy that you see the young lad sort of like cut his nose off comes back to the brother and lies. Says, "Oh yeah, he's dead. He's drowned."
Little boy is dead. Dead in the sea. Yeah. Hanging like a stone.
But we know he hasn't. So we see the young lad then get in a boat and he canoes off and he swears his revenge. We then cut to, it says, many years later. So he's now grown up and a fully fledged man and a warrior. So does he get his revenge on his father's death? Does he save his mother? You need to watch it and find out, because that's all I'm going to tell you. So this is what I do. I always give you the first 20-25 minutes of a movie, and then I want you to find out the rest. This is a long movie. It's about 2.5 hours long. So it is a long epic movie. But that's what you do. That's what you get if you give the director of The Witch a huge budget. He will come up with something like this, and it's very true to the sort of Nordic sort of mythology and the Viking sort of kind of lifestyle. He's done a lot of research, and it's very, very sort of like true to what it was. And it turns into a revenge movie. Obviously, he's grown up. and he's got to avenge the death of his father. And is he going to do it? You know, it's something you need to watch to find out. What do I think of it? I think it's amazing. It's an awesome film. I love Vikings anyway. I really do. I'm a huge sort of Viking fanatic, or lots of things on Vikings. I've even got sort of like Celtic tattoos and all sorts of things because I'm into the Viking sort of history. I reckon that's something to do with being from the UK, because obviously the UK was very was under the Viking sort of rulership for centuries, nearly by thousands of years ago. So it's like I suppose there's always that sort of fascination with the Nordic kind of lifestyle, just because it's close to our sort of like heritage here. So yeah, I absolutely thought it was awesome. I just love the story. It's not anything new, you know. It's a revenge movie. It doesn't bring anything sort of really new to the table than any other sort of like historical revenge movie, and most Viking things are revenge stories. So it doesn't really bring too much new to the table, but I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a good time, and I got it, and it was amazing. So the pluses of the film: it looks stunning, it looks amazing, it's a stunning looking film, just like The Witch. The director has dulled down the coloration, didn't make it too Hollywood, you know, too bright. He made it dull, he made it rough, he made it look like gritty, and that's what I loved about the film. Fantastic. He kept it true to what it, you know, to give you that sort of atmosphere, like he did in The Witch. He gave you that atmosphere of that period by dulling down the colours. So that's fantastic. Really well acted. Absolutely amazing seeing some of the old cast from The Witch in there, including the Witch herself, and it was just brilliant. I just loved that they were all in there. Even the father turns up later in the film, which is fantastic. I like that he's done a lot of research on the Nordic history before making the movie. I love it that it didn't turn out like a Hollywood blockbuster. Just fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Negatives to the film: it is a bit trifle, bit too long, but there you go. And it's not like the most action-packed of sort of like the sort of historical films, but there is a lot in there, and there's not a lot of gore in there. So it is a 15, so it's not very gory, but that's cool too. I'm quite happy with that. I didn't really want it to be too gory, to be honest. So that was fantastic. So I'm going to score the film now. I'm going to score it an essential watch and give it a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing film. It's up there with The Witch and all the other great films. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely loved it. What an amazing film. Sorry, just trying to get this music off the background. Yeah, 10 out of 10 is what I score The Northman. Excellent movie. Have any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought of it down below. I was pleasantly surprised. It was recommended to me by my lad Lemon Lord, who's watched it before me. He said, "Dad, you'll love it. It's got the real sort of the feel of The Witch about it. It's about Vikings, Dad, and you know how much you love Vikings, and it's just right up your street." So yeah, it was fantastic. There was a little bit of the films that I thought, yeah, you know, that's kind of like taking you away from it, and there was some sort of like dreamlike things where you got like Odin and things, and it was just like, yeah, you know, didn't need that in there, but you know, but that's the sort of things they could have cut out of the film. I think was those sort of dream sort of sequences. But it's cool. It's got everything I love: Vikings, witches, Everything I love about the film in it. Really, really cool. And it was shot beautifully in, I believe it was shot, looks like it's in Iceland and maybe some parts in Scotland. I'm not quite sure because it looks beautiful. 10 out of 10. Guys, check it out if you've not seen it. It's an amazing film. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I see you all soon.